आप इतना टेंशन ले रहे हो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स के बारे में कि हम एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स को इतना परसेंटेज असाइन कर रहे हैं, विच इज जहाँ पे स्टेट, नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल लेवल लिखना है. Hello everyone, welcome to UniVoyage. This is Vedika Manik, and today we're going to be talking about extracurriculars. A lot of you have doubts कि what do I do for my extracurriculars? What if I am able to clear the entrance exam, but because मेरे extracurriculars ठीक नहीं थे तो मुझे शायद interview में benefit नहीं होगा, या मुझे क्या अभी से ही करना चाहिए for the latter process that is not that entrance exam that is there. I just want to say one thing. पहले तो I'm very happy that a lot of people are super dedicated and they want to give their best shot in every aspect possible. But I just wanted to clear a few things. And whenever someone comes up to me with this doubt that मैं extracurriculars के लिए क्या कर सकता हूँ या क्या कर सकती हूँ अभी with my studies, I just tell them these few things that I feel like all of you should know because it's a recurring doubt. One is that when they do ask you for extracurriculars, एक तो ये हो जाता है कि you're done with your entrance that you've given, you've cleared it. Now you have to fill the form for the future rounds. उसमें they ask you they give you two areas. One is they ask you to list any achievement and they specify that this should be at a state, national or international level. वो लोग ने clearly लिखा है वहाँ पे कि अगर आपका कुछ extra curricular है तो वही लेवल पे होना चाहिए. This has been at least the trend in the last 2-3 years that has been happening. I don't know if it will change in the future. Talking today, 5th October 2022. तो last 2-3 साल से ये trend हुआ है that they've always asked your state, national, international level. The other area is where they ask you essay type, मतलब 1-2 paragraphs जितनी space होती है जहाँ पे वो पूछते हैं what are your career plans in the future and why IPM. So, talking about the extracurriculars part that everyone is very worried about, which is जहाँ पे state, national, international level लिखना है. अभी मेरा personal opinion ये है कि when you're in 12th grade, you're done with like your schooling and your higher secondary school, जो भी है जहाँ भी है. मैं personally junior college में थी in Mumbai. कुछ लोग ने ISC किया होगा, कुछ लोग ने CBSE किया होगा. वो लेवल पे बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जिनका एक्चुअली में नेशनल या इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कुछ अचीवमेंट हो. स्टेट हो सकता है, कुछ 1-2 स्पोर्ट्स हो गया, तो ये सब चीजें 1-2 अलग अलग चीजें हो सकती है दैट पीपल हैव, बट देयर विल बी नो वन हु विल हैव लाइक 100 थिंग्स और अ वेरी लॉन्ग लिस्ट ओवर देयर दैट विल कंप्लीटली सेट देम अपार्ट. दिस इज नंबर 1. Number 2, they have clearly mentioned what they want. If you feel like you want to put something over there that is not what they've mentioned, I'll give you a very anecdotal example only. In the past, one person put in ranked second in International Maths Olympiad. उन्होंने वो डाल दिया उनके वो फॉर्म में. फिर in the interviewers asked them that where, like, how many students were there and where did you actually participate. So then that person said that IMO में मेरे स्कूल में मैं सेकंड था. तो then they were like कि अच्छा तुम्हारे ये पहले तो this is not clear, मतलब तुमने जो लिखा था was very ambiguous and it could have been perceived as मैं तो internationally सेकंड था. बट ठीक है, तुम्हारे स्कूल में थे तो बताओ स्कूल में हम कितने बच्चे थे जिन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया, what was the number, what was your positioning. And that person said there were 4-5 people from my school. So when you say something like this and you write something like I ranked second in International Maths Olympiad, and if they catch you, it will look very bad on like your part that you were not clear about it. As opposed to you don't have anything to write, it's fine. तुम 1-2 चीजें लिख देते हो, ठीक है. और फिर बाद में वो तुम्हारा interview would be centered around something else only completely. It's still okay. It's better than lying, getting caught, or even misrepresenting something. So I would just suggest that for the extracurriculars part, keep all of that in mind. Abhi, if you are thinking मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ या कुछ कर सकती हूँ, I would like to say that there's no specified component. Like they always clearly state कि इतना is for entrance, इतना is for interview. Nowhere have they written कि हम extracurriculars को इतना percentage assign कर रहे हैं. And the same they've done with 10th and 12th also. At least IIM Indore doesn't mention specifically कि इतना हम 10th या इतना हम 12th को assign कर रहे हैं. They still consider your 10th and 12th to a certain extent. Extracurriculars में, personally, from talking to people, what I have perceived is that it doesn't make a huge difference. So right now, if you're thinking that I'll invest my time doing some XYZ competition somewhere at an international level, and because of that, my IPMAT preparation will suffer, or my 12th board scores will suffer, then I would say it's not worth it. Because पहले तुम्हारा 12th board exam score is very important. I will say that do not compromise on that. वो तुम्हारे IPMAT में भी अगर तुम कहीं और ट्राई कर रहे हो इंदौर के सिवाय जहाँ कंपोनेंट है उधर भी काम आएगा. If you want to go for CAT, it will be considered there also. If you are sitting for placements, like चलो तुम्हारा IPM हो गया, तुम IPM में भी placements में बैठ रहे हो तो तुम्हारा 12th का थोड़ा तो they will see. So don't play with your 12th board marks is my personal perception and suggestion. And the second thing is IPMAT का entrance. उसके बाद अगर ये दोनों बहुत perfectly जा रहे हो और तुम confident हो कि दोनों में बहुत अच्छा करोगे, या तुम अगर dropper हो and your 12th is already done, you've taken a drop year for IPMAT preparation specifically, you're well placed in that, then you can consider doing some other things. But I know so many people who have not had any major extracurriculars at a national, international or state level, and they've still gotten in. Because usually the interviews are not centered around this. Like they're always centered around like either academics or your introduction. And sometimes if you're smart enough, you can even anchor the interview. That is, तुम जो भी बोलोगे, उसके around you can anchor it by leading them to ask you questions in certain areas. Obviously, these are like things that you will work on more once you reach that level. But I'm just saying कि अगर आप इतना tension ले रहे हो extracurriculars के बारे में तो मत लो. It's totally, completely okay. Now coming to if you have the spare time, if you're doing perfectly, excellently well in the other things, and if you have the spare time, then a few suggestions that I have for extracurriculars would be that you can, at this stage, you can try taking up like programs that run on an international level. I'll give you an example. Like there's Toastmasters. ये technically international consider होता है, but also joining Toastmasters is a voluntary thing. Like तुम खुद join कर सकते हो. It's not like तुम्हें 100 या मतलब ऐसे बहुत सारे levels देने पड़ेंगे to reach there where you can actually mention it. Another example from this thing is that I took part in TED-Ed. I gave a TED-Ed talk. This was a voluntary thing. There were TED-Ed clubs in my city. I personally went, approached one of them. I took part in the TED-Ed cycle for an entire year and gave the talk. And isme I didn't have to give any particular exam or any entrance or anything to be able to qualify for this. And I can mention it because TED-Ed का जो certificate है वो internationally मुझे मिला है. तो वैसे there are things that you can do. There are competitions also, like there is ICAI that conducts competitions. There are international maths, economics, Olympiads, NTSC वगैरह है. That also you can mention. I would suggest that if you're performing very well in your 10th and 12th, I mean 10th तो हो गया, but 12th में if you're performing, you're getting some national level rank, वो भी लिख सकते हो because वो है national level achievement जो तुम्हारी हो रही है. Like I wrote, I was a board topper in 10th, like I was all India rank 3 in my 10th ICSE board. So I mentioned that. And that will help you for your resume and other things also. So I would suggest that if you are planning to do, you can do something like this. Another question comes up कि internships या life projects mention करने चाहिए या नहीं करने चाहिए. ये बहुत ही grey area है क्योंकि I know people जिन्होंने mention किया और उनका हो गया है. But I'm not very confident that it's something that you should mention considering that they have clearly written that national, international या state level होना चाहिए achievement. So internship though doesn't fall in any of these categories. But if you still feel like you want to write it, it's a call that you can take. Matlab, it's not something that I am recommending or preaching. It's a personal call that you should take if you want to take the risk or no. Like I wanted to take the risk, so मैंने मेरी internship लिखी थी in my application. I can actually just quickly show you what all I wrote so that you get an idea. But again, I'm just reiterating that right now you should focus on the entrance and other academic things that you have in mind? So this was the career plans and why IPM. I even managed to mention like a club experience that I had in my college in my career plans, so that I could make it a little bit more personal. But so these were the things that I wrote, like the ICSE thing. This was from my school, so it was not really fitting in the state, national, international wala criteria. And this is a risky call that if you want to take, you take. ये एक Olympiad था in school. See, this is the TED talk where I didn't really have to give any exam or anything to do this. It was just a voluntary thing that anyone can do. Like even if you find a TED club near you or a Toastmasters club or a road track club, so all that you can do. ये city level था, so this was also something that I wrote. Yeah. So these were a couple of things that you can choose to write or not write. But I'm just again reiterating that don't worry too much about the extracurriculars part. I would suggest that focus on the entrance. If you have time above and beyond that, then you can consider doing things that are a little light on your schedule. Because ultimately जो academic के scores या grades है वो उसके fixed components है. Like IPMAT का score का there is a component that they've mentioned. They've never mentioned components for extracurriculars. So yeah, that was it. I hope this has cleared all your doubts कि क्या अभी हमें focus करना चाहिए extracurriculars पे कि नहीं, अगर कर रहे तो क्या करना चाहिए exactly. And if you have any other doubts, do drop them down in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe to UniVoyage. We're here to help you. Feel free to reach out to us on our social media. If you want to reach out to us personally also, you can. Thank you very much.